Hi, it's Nell, and today I am going to be repotting a bird's nest Sansevieria, or snake plant, so stick around for that. So if you like videos about gardening both indoors and outdoors, be sure to come back because I post videos on a regular basis. I also have a lot in the archive, so go ahead and hit subscribe if you're interested. So I'm filming this right in the middle, or I don't know if it's in the middle because we don't know how long it's going to last, but in the midst of the virus of 2020. I just want to say I hope you're staying safe and healthy. I'm spending a lot of time gardening, doing some videos, working. Fortunately, I can still work, and that's fine, so that's good. And also the weather here in Tucson is just gorgeous. It's in the mid to high 70s, so you can spend a lot of time outside walking and hiking and doing that sort of thing, so stay safe. So I've already done a post about repotting Sansevierias in general because there are so many of them, but because I have this one and the bird's nests are very popular, I thought I'd do one specifically on the bird's nests in case you're searching for that. This is Sansevieria Hanai Jade, and as you can see, it's a dark green, and these darker non-variegated Sansevierias snake plants can take lower light just fine. The ones that have more variegation and more color in them need more light to bring out that variegation and to keep that variegation. So if you have a lower light, this would be a good plant for you. And I'm filming this on March 30th. It is spring, summer, and into fall are great times to transplant. I am in a climate with warmer winters, so I can go a little bit further into fall. If you're in a cold climate, you might want to end your repotting adventures at the end of summer. And this particular one that I have is not pot bound. Snake plants actually prefer to grow really tight in their pots. You know, they seem to do better. I've seen large ones, the grow pots are broken. I've even seen one that is broken a clay pot, so that is really not an issue with them. But I have a pot that I want to directly plant it into. You will see it as soon as we head over to the repotting table. So I just wanted to let you know that you don't have to repot them all that often because they like to grow nice and snug in their pots. And there will be more information in the blog post that goes along with this video. And I'll also leave a link to the repotting guide I did. It's a general guide to repotting. So if you're new to repotting, it's something you definitely want to check out. And the link to that and the link to the blog post will both be in the description box right down below. Over here at the table with all the ingredients, I have my DIY succulent and cactus mix. This is potting soil. I'm using Ocean Forest. I also use Happy Frog. They're both from Fox Farm, both organic, both very high quality. They are my two favorite potting soils. You will find them both in my Amazon shop. I'm going to use a little bit of charcoal just because I always have it on hand. And no, you don't have to, but you will see the reason why I'm using charcoal very soon. Obviously the plant in the pot, and then I'm going to enrich it with a little bit of worm compost. So what makes this different is that I am putting it obviously in this pot. It only has one small drain hole, and I don't feel like drilling more holes in this at the moment. I already drilled this one in. And this is like a grow pot here, which has multiple drain holes. So this is why I'm going to be using this mix. So you just saw the drain hole issue, and with most snake plants I will use like roughly 3/4 potting soil and 1/4 succulent and cactus mix, and maybe throw in a few extra handfuls of, pumice. But because there's just that one small drain hole, and snake plants need a very well drained soil, I want to make sure that it is well drained. So I'm going to use half succulent and cactus mix and half potting soil. I'm also going to put some, about maybe ½ an inch of rock on the bottom, just for a little extra insurance. And then I will put some charcoal on top of that, because what charcoal does is it not only aids in drainage, but it also sweetens the soil. It's used in, terrarium gardens a lot too. And I actually might mix a few handfuls in to the mix I'm going to do. So I wanted to do this in case you are directly planting into something. It's, just the same as, planting into a grow pot, except for the one drain hole issue. And you might be, searching bird's nest Sansevieria instead of snake plants. So, anything to make our life easier, right? So these are these clay pebbles, and I actually picked them up because I'm going to be repotting my big Dracaena marginata. So I'm going to put a few handfuls of these on the bottom. You can use gravel, pebbles, anything for, a layer, anything like that. You don't have to use these, but I am, because I have them on hand and I have a really big bag of them. You could also use lava rock. I have lava rock also. And what's this? Actually just makes a little buffer in between the bottom of the soil and the roots where it could stay really, really wet. It's going to extra aerate it a bit. And I probably have about a ½ inch layer in here. Actually, I'll zoom in so I can show you. So there you go. It's just a thin layer. I don't want it to take up too much of the planting space. And while I'm over here, I'll show you the potting soil and then the nice chunky succulent and cactus mix. So here we go. Get the gloves back on. I have to go back and forth in between taking pictures and filming the video. And what I like this tub truck for, besides gardening, is when I'm repotting, I can just do it right into here so it doesn't make quite so much of a mess. And I'm going to take off some of this soil here, because it is, I can tell it's all potting soil, and I don't want that. I want it to have more of that mix because it's going to stay too wet. Oh, this doesn't have a big root ball at all. Here we go. Okay, so there is the root ball there. Okay, so as you can see, it didn't need to be repotted. And even though I used my tub truck to not make a mess, I wanted to show you the root ball. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of the charcoal right over the rock, just for that. Go ahead and sprinkle a little bit in with the potting soil. And then I'm going to add an equal amount of this. I think I'll use this. It'll be a little bit more efficient here, of the succulent and cactus mix. Just like that. There we go. Now I'm going to mix this here because it's just easier to do than mixing it in that small pot there. Okay, just get enough in the bottom. Right there. So it can raise it up, because you don't want the root ball sunken down on this, because if you get the soil up too high here, it could rot out on these birds' nests. So that should do it there. So I'm just going to get the plant in, and then I'm going to start to fill in around. So I didn't have to break the root ball up at all because it was pretty loose. So what I'm doing is I'm just going around and I'm tamping the soil down a bit around the sides to get the root ball to stand up, and I ended up adding a handful of perlite in here just to make sure it had extra aeration and drainage to it. And now let's get some of this wonderful worm compost. This is a locally produced worm compost. It's very dark and very rich, so it's a nice way to nourish the plants. And because it is so rich, you don't want to use that much. I'll just use like a 1/4 of an inch all the way around here. Just to give it a little bit of, you know, something good. So that is done. And just gonna top it off with more of this mix, and that is all there is to it. And another thing I wanted to tell you is that I watered this plant about 5 days ago. I wanted it to be moist when I transplanted it, repotted it, but not sopping wet. Because if a plant is too dry, it's stressed, and you don't want to repot a plant that is stressed. So how am I going to maintain this after repotting, you ask? I'm just going to let it be for a while because the soil it was in was so wet, so I probably won't water it for at least a week and maybe 10 days. And I won't need to water it quite as often as one that had a lot of drain holes in it because it's not going to dry out as fast. And also this is a ceramic pot which is glazed, so it doesn't breathe. So it only breathes, the soil only breathes up here and through that tiny little drain hole. So that is it. Easy as can be. I have a lot of snake plants, but can we ever have too many snake plants? I think not. I love mine, especially here in the dry air of the desert. They are a no-brainer, and I don't have to water them every 5 or 6 days when the weather warms up like other plants I have. So I could have easily left this plant in the grow pot it was in because, as you saw, the root ball was small, but it was in sort of a denser potting soil, so I wanted to get it out of that, and I just wanted to directly plant it into this pot. But I'm glad that I did repot it because now it's in the potting mix that I want it to be in. So I hope you have found this video to be helpful. I have a lot more videos coming your way, so stay tuned for those. Actually, I'm doing a lot of repotting these days, so they'll kind of be sprinkled throughout the next few months, so stay tuned for those. I thank you for all your likes and your subscribes. I really appreciate them. Now let's get out in our gardens or into our indoor gardens and make our worlds a more beautiful place. As always, I thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.